everybody, welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie vlog, where literally I talk about my life and everything that happened. Now, this is actually gonna be the last episode, and before I get started with that, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the blog, or in this case it will be for the podcast. But the reason why I say that this is the last episode is because I wanted to create this blog where I will be able to talk about my trauma. Like, I already talk about my trauma. I didn't want to make the podcast all about me. Like, I'm still going to be sharing my trauma. But this is a way for you to know exactly where I'm coming from in regards to PTSD and everything that I have researched on the podcast. So that's why I started this. And this journey on the blog, it has helped me a lot. Because by talking about a lot of stuff, I've been able to uncover the little stuff, like good things, bad things. I've been able to uncover that a bunch of things, and I think, and with a lot of feedback from my wife and from some of the listeners, I think I can use that on the podcast better. That's why I wanted to create the blog and talk about like major events of trauma in my life. So what I'm going to do now, the podcast is gonna be 3 times a week. It's just like I mentioned, it's just like the way that I'm doing it right now. It's gonna be on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And now I have a lot of topics that you guys have sent me, and personal topics as well. So I feel like with the blog, I'm more open, so I'm able to give you my full self in the podcast. Now, with that said, like I said, this is gonna be the last episode, but I just want to tell you, even though I talk about all my trauma in the blog, I do want to tell you, like, I did have good times. I did have amazing memories through my life. Like, we went to the beach, we went out of town. I did grow up. I obviously abused, but I did have good memories. I do remember good memories, like my grandpa giving me money so I could go play at the arcade, things like that. So I do have good memories. Now, one of the problems with our brains or minds is that, and you might be able to relate to this, is that for some reason, anything bad that happens, we can't get rid of it as fast as if it was something good. Like, I heard this the other day, and that's why I think I can actually provide more information on the podcast now to research that, for example, the good things, they only take, let's say, like 10% of your day, let's say. But the other 90%, if it's bad, you're just gonna remember that. And that's pretty much what happens. That's why trauma is so hard to deal with. That's why I wanted to talk about it. That's why I did the podcast, I did the blog, because obviously there's good memories. Like, I have good memories about my life. Like I said, we went to the beach multiple times. My mom did take care of me sometimes when she was available, so I still have good memories. But in order for us to be able to deal with whatever we're dealing, especially if you're a spoonie, I have to talk about the trauma. And the reason why is because when we talk about the trauma, we can process a lot of things. We can find new things, which is what happened to me. Which is what has happened to me throughout all of these episodes, and that's why I love to do this, and that's why I'm going to keep doing this, but now in the podcast. So, because now you know about me, now I can bring it up. I can bring it up and say, like, okay, like, and if you remember, I have said this in the blog, so I think it's better this way. And like I said, I have received a lot of feedback from the community, like, and from some of the listeners. Like, they have sent me emails, and I have replied, and I have asked for questions, because I want this to be something for the community, something where I learn new things, where you guys learn new things like that. So it's for you guys. It's not for me. It's not for the money. It's not for fame. It's not for anything like that. And like I have mentioned in the podcast as well, my main goal from all of this, because somebody asked me again, like, what's your main goal with the podcast? And I said, like, my main goal is to help people get out of that the way that I can only say it from my side. I was stuck in this darkness. So that's pretty much what I want. So people to get unstuck from the darkness of your mind. Like, that's what happened to me. And by talking about my trauma, I went able to find good things and other things that I didn't thought that were as bad as the main trauma that I suffer. And that's what happens sometimes as well. Like, you might, like, for example, I saw my grandpa die in front of me. So I thought that was very traumatic, and other things that I have talked about, like my mom stabbing my brother, my mom kicking me out. I thought that was traumatic. But then I started digging deeper, and there were like small things that were also traumatic that were said to me, and I'm gonna use that on the podcast because they all have a meaning, or all of this have a lesson. Like, everything that I have found about myself has created a lesson that I can mention. So that's pretty much what the podcast is going to be from this point on. I want you to know that the podcast is going to keep going. The blog, unfortunately, like I said, today's the last episode. And one of the things that I want to tell you is thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your feedback. I know that we can grow the podcast to be an amazing podcast for everybody, not just for spoonies and caregivers, but for everybody. That's another main goal. And I think I got on a tangent, but my personal goal is to create a foundation or a charity that can help people. Mostly right now with paying their medical bills, because I've been through that. We went broke because of medical bills. So I want to create something that can help people right now, and then obviously branch out from there. And obviously I'm going to need your help. So if you like what you hear, like I always say, share. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and always comment. Send me your feedback. If you want to share your story, you can do it on the Facebook page, on the Facebook community, or you can do it by sending me an anonymous email at thecaregiverandspoonie@gmail.com. But like I said, I'm gonna continue the actual podcast. Is gonna be 3 times a week with different topics. Like, thanks to you guys following me and giving me more feedback, now I can make it better for you guys. So thank you for that. Thank you for helping me on this journey. This is our journey. It's my journey, but it's your journey as well. If you want to learn how to talk to your spoonie or communicate with your spoonie, this is what's gonna help you, because people ask me, like, how do you communicate with your wife who is your spoonie? And I'm gonna talk about that. So thank you. I'm so grateful and blessed for being able to have all these opportunities right now. And like I said, this is gonna be the last episode of the blog. But keep waiting, keep looking out for the podcast that still is gonna come out 3 times a week. Sorry, my dogs are behind me. And one day, if I'm able to catch them while I'm doing the podcast or the video or any videos, I'm going to show you what they look like. Because here's the problem. If I try to catch them, it'll run under the bed. Hold on. Hey, what's going on? It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Come here. Ha! This is Bruce. He's a mean pin mix. Come on. This is Maggie, a Bichon. They are our dogs. My wife loves them. And also, on the podcast, I'm going to be talking about how your animals can actually help you. So, again, thank you for listening to the all of the episodes of the blog. Now we're just gonna focus on the actual podcast with better topics, more topics, better topics, a lot of information that I hope it helps you, because I know it has helped me. So I'm just gonna tell you how I use it in my life. If you want to apply it on your life, obviously that's your choice. And with that said, once again, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. On Facebook, you can follow us. We're on Instagram as well. And like always, take care of yourself and have a great day.